And joining us live on the broadcast now is Alex Strayman, CEO and Jerusalem Bureau Chief of the Jewish News Syndicate. He joins us from Jerusalem. He is an award-winning Israeli political commentator and a syndicated columnist. Alex Strayman, thanks very much indeed for talking to WION. Now, your first reactions to, of course, the images of Sinwar with 20 hostages asking for another round of mediation and a possible hostage deal. Is that even possible at this stage?
Well, it's really up to Sinwar. He's surrounding himself with 20 hostages because he doesn't want the IDF to come and kill him. And he also knows that he doesn't want the IDF to come and rescue hostages. That's why he surrounds himself. This was the game plan all the time. This is the reason why they took the hostages to begin with. This is the reason why they built the tunnels underground. Now, I do believe that the Israeli government will be willing to allow Sinwar safe passage to Qatar in some kind of ceasefire hostage release deal that would mean a full surrender of Hamas, an end of hostilities, the end of Hamas as a political entity governing the Strip, and the release of the hostages.
Right. But given what's happened in the last so many months and the repeated failures to reach a deal, the bombings, the displacement in Gaza, and now the three-front possible regional escalation, is a hostage deal still doable?
I think a hostage deal is possible. Again, it depends on when Sinwar wants to give up control of the Gaza Strip. If he feels like, if for whatever reason he's out of food or he has the incentive to leave, then there is the possibility for a deal. But Sinwar is no longer controlling the pace of this war. As you can see, the IDF is now operating intensively inside southern Lebanon. Israel is dealing with 6 fronts at the same time, 7 fronts according to Netanyahu, which includes terrorism inside Israel, dealing with the question of whether to go into Iran. So you could see now that Israel has really moved past this phase 1 of the war, which was Gaza, and it's going to be up to Sinwar if he wants to release the hostages or not.
But is it really up to Sinwar, given the fact that, Israeli intelligence is known for precision strikes? You've killed and taken out so many of the leaders of the Hezbollah as well as of the Hamas. Obviously, there is some sort of amount of knowledge and intelligence within the IDF about where possibly the hostages could be. It's been 12 months into this war already. Do you think that there were many opportunities to get out the hostages, but they weren't taken? A lot of questions are being raised whether this war has gone on for too long without actually getting the hostages back.
Yeah, that's a lot of questions there. I think that the IDF has taken a few operations to try to rescue hostages, and they've been successful in a few cases. But we also saw that when the IDF got close to rescuing hostages, the hostages were killed. And there's strict orders inside Gaza right now that if the IDF is getting anywhere near the hostages, to kill the hostages, so that Israel does not have the victory of bringing hostages home. And this is the exact reason why Sinwar surrounds himself with hostages, so that the IDF does not assassinate him, even if they know exactly where he is, because it will mean killing the hostages as well.
Right. You are in Jerusalem, so I would like to ask you, what do you think is the ground situation in terms of the fighting strength of both the Hamas and the Hezbollah, given that they have lost many of their senior leadership?
Right. Well, Hamas is more or less degraded. And even since the day after the October 7th attack, Hamas has not killed even one person, maybe 1 or 2 maximum inside Israel after October 7th, from October 8th forward. They're trying to rebuild their capabilities, but the IDF's not finished operating there. They're inside Jabalia now, the 4th push in this northern area of the Gaza Strip, making sure that Hamas does not reestablish its control in that section of the Strip. With regards to Hezbollah is a much more potent fighting force than Hamas ever was, and it was always believed that in order to prevent massive damage to the Israeli home front, that Israel would need to preempt the large attack. So Israel has already successfully prevented an October 7th style attack by the Radwan force into northern Israel on the ground. That is believed to have been foiled, and Israel's also filed down a tremendous amount of the long-range rocket capabilities that Hezbollah has, but there's still going to be very intensive fighting in southern Lebanon for the next several weeks at least, because Hezbollah is the largest paramilitary in the Middle East.
Alex Strayman, I'd like to ask you my final question and take from what you're saying that the fighting force Hezbollah is a much bigger force, but of course they in many parts they've been weakened. There have been substantial gains for Israel over the last couple of months. Do you think it's time now to stop a lot of the bombing that's happening in Gaza and Lebanon, and continue to attack Hezbollah and Hamas and precision bombing that doesn't require bunker buster bombs and kill thousands of others of people, and just slow down a bit on the mass casualties that we're seeing in civilians?
Well, the reason why Israel is using bunker buster bombs is because people like Nasrallah were hiding deep underground in bunkers, right? They're putting themselves in the position where the only way that Israel can possibly get to them is with bunker busting bombs. So when Israel does use bunker busting technology, it's proportionate in terms of what the military target is and how you go about killing that target. But I don't think that Israel is going to stop at this point. I think Netanyahu and the IDF understand that this war's gone on way too long already, and therefore you cannot stop in such a position where Hezbollah would be able to reestablish itself in a fighting force and basically guaranteeing that there will be another round of violence in the next year or 2 or 3 years. Israel needs to change the game from their perspective, and they're going to continue moving until Hezbollah doesn't exist as a political and a military entity in southern Lebanon, and the same way in Gaza. So I think this war is going to continue from Israel's perspective at least for several more months, if not longer.
Well, that's certainly a very, very grim reminder of what's at store next in West Asia. They may be decimated all through in the next couple of months, but they may also lead to massive civilian casualties, and that could not be proportionate to the number of Hezbollah and Hamas leaders you kill. Thank you very much for talking to us, Alex Raymond, today.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.